Today we'll be looking at a few different kinds of loops in Scratch. A loop is a block and control that lets you repeat code over and over. Sometimes it repeats it no matter what, sometimes it will repeat it only under certain conditions. We're going to take a look at a few different types of loops in Scratch. First of all, I'm going to get a when the green flag is clicked block, and then I'll get the most basic type of loop, a forever loop. The forever loop just makes the code inside it happen over and over and over again, no matter what, at least until you press the stop sign. Another type of loop we have is the repeat block. The repeat block is similar to the forever loop, but there's a few key differences I want to point out. Look at the shape of the two blocks together. The repeat block and the forever block both have a notch on top. That way you can hook them on to the preceding code. They each have a hole in the middle to put code inside. And they each have an arrow indicating that they are a loop, that they will repeat the code that's inside them. Those are the similarities. The differences, though, are that the forever block does not have a tab on the bottom, whereas the repeat block does have a tab on the bottom. Things can happen after a repeat, but nothing can happen after forever. There's no such thing as after forever. Forever is forever. So the repeat block will happen a certain number of times, by default 10, but you can change that to as many or as few as you like. Another loop that we have is the forever if block. The forever if block will repeat code inside it if a certain condition is true. And you can put a condition inside this little block right here. Just like the forever, there's no tab on the bottom. The wait until block is similar to a loop block, but there's no code inside it. What wait until will do is it will wait until a certain condition is true and then proceed. It'll block right there and stop. It won't do anything further until this condition right here is true, whatever that condition may be. Finally, there's the repeat until block. The repeat until block will do whatever is inside until a certain condition is true. It's like the opposite of the wait until. Wait until will do nothing until this condition is true. Repeat until will do whatever is inside until the condition is true. For your project this week, we're not going to be making a full game. Instead, I want you to do some experimenting with these loop blocks. I have several questions I want you to answer. First of all, I want you to do some experimenting with the forever block versus the repeat block. Is there a difference between the forever block and a repeat block with a very large number in it? Try some experiments and see what you can figure out. Next, I want you to have a look at this construct here. When the green flag is clicked, if a condition is true, do something. This is a common problem in beginning programmers. If you put a construct like this, it will chances are not do what you expect. If you have an if statement in your code, like right here, it will ask this if question one time and one time only at the exact moment this code runs. Then it will move on to the next step and never come back. So if you wanted to do something like a jump button or a checking for game over or things like that, you don't want to put it in a bare if like this, because it'll only check as soon as I hit the green flag and then never again. Instead, you want to do something like either a forever if or a forever with an if inside it. And that brings up the question, though, of which one of these is better, or how do they work exactly? Is there any difference between the forever with an if inside it versus the forever if? I'm not going to tell you. I want you guys to do some experiments and find out on your own. Is there any difference between forever with an if inside it versus the forever if loop? If there is a difference, tell me what it is, and if not, prove it. Next thing I want you to look at is the repeat until versus the wait until blocks. Like I said, these are kind of similar and kind of opposites. I want you to do some experimenting with these blocks too and get a good feel for how they work. Repeat until a condition is true. Wait until a condition is true. Try an experiment where you use the same condition in both blocks and trade them out and see how one works versus the other. Is there any difference between a wait until block and a repeat until block if you don't put any code inside the repeat? I'm not going to tell you. Once again, do some experimenting and find out on your own. If there is a difference, show me what it is. If there's not, prove it. There's one more thing I want to show you this week, and that is the comment feature. If you right-click somewhere in the empty area of the Scratch script window, you'll get this pop-up menu. You have Clean Up, Save Picture of Scripts, and Add Comments. Clean Up will help arrange your code nice and neat like this. It doesn't always do it the way you want it to, so be careful that you don't press it on accident. Save Picture of Scripts will let you save a picture of all the code that you have as a picture file on your hard drive. You can then email that to someone, save it, print it out and frame it on your wall, whatever you like. Finally, Add Comment is the one I want to show you. If you click on that, you'll get a text box, and you can put some text in there. This comment script does not actually run as code. Nothing happens with the comment. It's only there so you can label things. So in your homework, I want you guys to put comments next to each one of your sections and tell me your answer for the questions. Are the different blocks different? Do they do different things, or are they the same? How do you know? Explain to me in the comments what you want me to see. When you're all done, make sure you save your final script in your Dropbox folder, and I'll take a look. Thanks, and I'll see you next week.